think I'm live. I don't know if you guys can hear me. I'll blast it out to stream. I'm actually eating a sandwich, so I'll start drawing some stuff in a few minutes. Let's see. Let me get the, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna blast this out to Discord. At everyone. What's today, May 8th? May 8th stream is now live. All right, cool. Looks like you guys can hear me. Yellow Hexagon, No Name, Jacob, Socialist Mango Tree, Youngblood, Pete Creeper, Pooley, Pete, Estingson, Mc07, Snow, Guess Fred. How's it going, guys? Evolum Heravatsku. So, while I'm finishing my sandwich, we can put this on screen. This is a comic that I did on last stream, longest stream, 5-hour long stream. Lachlan Burnett, how's it going? So this is, what is it? This is a Star Trek comic that I made last stream on Sunday. That was my longest stream yet. It was 5 hours. So yesterday and the day before, I came home from work and I just passed out on my couch. So I wasn't able to stream. I wasn't getting enough sleep. So today, I am rested enough to have done it, to stream. So this was a pretty high effort comic. So first panel, USS Enterprise, Captain's Log, Stardate 8008.5. The Enterprise is responding to a distress beacon from Falconia 3. I've joined the away team to investigate. Second panel, Transporter Room, US, UK, France, and Albania. Wow, Albania, I'm never picked for away missioning. Panel 3, down on the planet surface. Wow, world is very the strange and new. Excite for explore. Panel 4. Wow, is tar monster such scare. Whoops. Panel 5. Watch out, he could kill any one of us. Panel 6. We're all equally likely to die. So, this is, I posted this on r/Polandball on Monday morning. I thought it would have done better, but there's something going on with subreddits right now where like the active user count is low. So the past couple of days, I think since like Saturday, we haven't had that many like high scoring comics. But Zemo Nitro had a comic on, I think Saturday last Friday that got 11K upvotes. So I don't really understand what's going on with Reddit's algorithm, but I definitely thought this would have done better. It got 1,300 upvotes. But it's a trope based on red shirts from Star Trek, where like you send the 3 main characters down and you send an extra, and then the extra dies, right? The monster kills the extra. So the joke here is that US, UK, and France are main characters in the world, and Albania is insignificant. Opinion on GeoTubers? What is that? Is it just like geography YouTubers? Something weird is that new Reddit's letting JPEGs through. I don't use new Reddit. I use old Reddit because it's the version of Reddit that I first started using like 2008, 2009. So yeah, this was fun to draw. It was an excuse to draw this is the original Enterprise from the 1960 show, the original series. So that was super fun. I also like doing the atmosphere back here. But today, I think what I'm going to work on is a short. Aaron drew a couple of slides, or panels rather, and we're going to turn it into a short. There's this, I guess this meme going around on TikTok about like this old cowboy song. A cowboy needs a hat, needs boots, needs spurs. So I'm going to take these 4 panels, I'm going to expand them a little bit, and then we'll turn this into a short. I can probably get it done and posted tomorrow. Let's see. I don't know if you guys have seen this. But this is new to me. What's my opinion on Subnautica? I've never played it, but it looks pretty cool. First short on stream. Drawing it. It's only a few panels. It's based on this thing that's going on TikTok. And Gate Nerd identified it and figured we should probably just make our own version. So that's what I'm going to be doing. You can see Aaron kind of... Panel 3, you can see it's kind of... they're not perfectly aligned. Oh well, that's not a big deal. But it's going to be like an 18-second long short. Figure shorts are pretty easy to make, so we can get them. We get some shorts out more quickly than we can get full-length videos out. What's your opinion on the? What's my opinion on the TikTok ban? TikTok ban? Sorry, I'm eating. My opinion on TikTok ban? Yeah, I think it's justified. I think there's no reason why the ban is only... So, for those of you who don't know, the U.S. Congress passed and President Biden signed into law a bill that forces ByteDance, the owner of TikTok, which is a Chinese company, to sell TikTok to an American company, or they are banned in the United States, which means that if they don't sell TikTok to an American company, then the App Store can't release new updates of the app. So the app will slowly die, right? Now, the concern has been that TikTok... Here, I actually have a panel from a PNN episode. We covered the initial sort of starting of the seriousness of banning TikTok. Where is it? When was it? 226? Space Nukes, PNN. We definitely covered the TikTok ban in a PNN episode. UFOs. Wow, I cannot find... Oh, did Aaron cover it maybe? Moscow murders, Baltimore Bridge. Oh, here it is. Okay, TikTok. TikTok for TikTok. So... so the law that they passed essentially forces ByteDance to sell TikTok to an American company. The argument that the U.S. government has made is that TikTok is effectively a propaganda arm of the Chinese Communist Party. So it's a little bit different from, like, you know, I see a lot of TikTokers and a lot of Gen Z and Gen Alpha kids defending TikTok, saying like it's no different from YouTube or from Facebook or any other like American sort of social media platform. This is not true. Google and Facebook are not arms of the American government. TikTok is. It's an arm of the Chinese government. And China's largest geopolitical adversary is the United States. and China is America's largest political adversary. So, China has a vested interest in making sure that TikTok can basically function to promote any kind of news or content that they want, right? It's a great way to undermine American unity on certain things, right? Like, imagine if China decides to invade Taiwan. All they have to do to sort of like defeat American public opinion is to turn it against itself by promoting sort of pro-peace type stuff on TikTok, right? And American teenagers and college students and whatever will eat it up. I don't know for sure, but I suspect a lot of that is playing into the Israel-Gaza war right now too. So I suspect that there's a lot of like pro-Gaza, pro-Palestinian content that's being deliberately sort of pushed by the Chinese government. Not necessarily that, that's a good or a bad thing. I'm sort of neutral on the Israel-Palestine conflict. Hamas is garbage and Israel is way too heavy-handed. But I do think that a lot of like the sentiment, the pro-Palestinian sentiment that younger people have is a little bit misplaced. At least when it comes to like an organization like Hamas. Hamas are terrorists. Hamas don't give a shit about the kinds of things that a 22-year-old American cares about. They don't care about abortion. They don't care about gay marriage. They don't care about housing or education, right? Like, they're an authoritarian group. They're terrorists. They're interested in ruling Gaza with an iron fist, like they did since 2007. Hamas is cringe and Israeli government is cringe. Final answer. That's basically how I feel. Remember, you don't need to take a side on these kinds of issues. The idea that because there's two sides, you have to feel compelled to take one. No, like, it's totally fine to say, like, I don't really, I'm not invested in the conflict. I don't have a dog in the race, You don't like TikTok? It's too addicting. I've never used TikTok. I've never downloaded it. I've been to, like, the website. But I've never like doom scrolled on TikTok, and that's like the main thing that I think is so addictive about it. It's the algorithm that makes it addictive. It does a very good job of like feeding you content, like video after video, so that you keep scrolling. TikTok is literally banned in China. Yeah, the version of TikTok that we get in the West is not allowed in China. It's a very effective propaganda tool. Like the idea that, you're not being bombarded by U.S. propaganda or something on U.S. social media platforms is also true. Like you are. The difference is that because TikTok and ByteDance essentially take their orders from the Chinese Communist Party, when the Chinese Communist Party wants to give them orders. Not saying that they always do. They don't run it on a day-to-day basis. But they have to do it, right? Google and Apple and Meta and Amazon or whatever, they don't have to do whatever the U.S. tells them to do, right? Because the U.S. is not an authoritarian state. You've only watched TikToks when your friends send you stuff on it? Yeah, I mean, like, that's basically how I interact with it too. But I've never once downloaded the app on any device I've ever had. Like this idea that TikTok is an asset of Chinese government has been around for many years. This isn't a new thing. Like, I remember explaining to people in 2020 when the first sort of talks of banning it in the U.S. came up, that it was, this is essentially a tool that the Chinese government can use in hybrid warfare. And it is. What am I eating? I'm eating a sandwich. Trump was going to ban TikTok? Yeah, I'm pretty sure Trump was in favor of banning TikTok until he got a fat donation from like a TikTok executive, and then he changed his mind. It's just so nakedly corrupt. Turkey sandwich. Turkey, cheese, pickles, mustard, sourdough bread. But yeah, so like, okay, I need to make 2 different versions of these. This. I need to get rid of the spur on this one. And then save it. This is Texas Tings 5 or something. Yeah, go ahead and drop a like on the stream if you haven't done so already. Prussian Media, how's it going? Zillify. Modox Y. White bread or whole wheat bread? It's sourdough bread. You don't get why people are hung up on people breaking Polandball rules outside the subreddit? Yeah, I mean, like, we're looser with the rules on the YouTube channel, too. Like, you've seen me draw hair on streams. It's totally fine. It's just, if you're submitting something to the Polandball subreddit, you need to follow the rules. That's just the bar that we've set the standard. You probably agree with the older generation with TikTok. It's not good for the younger generation. So, admittedly, I've only been making videos for, like, on YouTube for 7 months. And I've never made videos for TikTok, but I have made a short now. People that watch shorts have a very, very short attention span. So I don't know if that's like across the board type thing. Like if you can't get your message across in like 15 seconds, people will just swipe past. That's crazy to me. Like when I go on YouTube, I like watching like hour-long videos, you know? I did draw Poland Ant. True, I did. They should ban Twitter next. I wish Twitter would die. I think Twitter is the worst social media platform of all of them. I think it is by far the worst. It's so annoying. So let's see. I have a 5th one here now. To make all these fit on screen. Yeah. It seems like most of you sort of agree that TikTok should be banned. It's not like YouTube Shorts is any different. The only thing that's different is the algorithm. And I get that that's like what makes TikTok TikTok, but whatever. Yeah, like I think a propaganda tool exposing like a foreign government using a propaganda tool to push propaganda to a foreign adversary's youth is a bad thing. Like, I'm totally cool with banning it, you know? They have 5-year-old kids that make videos on TikTok that have country ball abuse. What? Conrad, you're addicted to YouTube Shorts. You just watch 2 hour videos back to back. I'll be honest, like, shorts, they're not for me. They're fun to make. They're a lot easier to make than a full-length video. But like when I watch stuff, I like to watch very in-depth stuff. I'm gonna, fire some shots here. Do you guys know Johnny Harris? Johnny Harris is a YouTuber. He's won some awards. It's not just him, but he's like the face of the channel. But presumably, there's a number of other people that work on the channel. But he covers all sorts of different issues. They're usually topical, and he puts out like these 20-minute long videos. They are absolute trash. I despise his channel because it has incredibly high production value. So everything looks really snazzy. All the animations are great. Whatever. It looks good. But every single topic that he covers is so superficial. There's very, very little depth to anything that he ever discusses. It's like he's reading like the first paragraph of a Wikipedia entry on the subject that he's talking about, right? So it's like you see these thumbnails and it looks engaging, and then you click on it, you watch the video, and it's like, wow, I literally learned as much from a 20-minute video as what I could have read in 15 seconds on Wikipedia, right? Johnny Harris, he was at Vox. Okay, that makes sense, Yeah, I just think it's just trash content, Like, it's not even bite size. Have I heard about Rhodesia? Yeah, Rhodesia was the British like imperial name for what is now Zimbabwe, right? It was a colony north of South Africa, which I think at one point had the second largest like European white population of any European colony on Africa. Maybe Algeria did. You heard about him? Apparently, videos are very inaccurate. I can't speak to like the veracity of a lot of his content because it's not, necessarily my area of expertise. But I wouldn't be surprised because I've never had the impression that he's done a lot of research on these things. It's sort of just like very basic stuff, like what like when I Google search something, what's on the first page of Google results, and like that's the information I'm going to use for my video, Would I rather fight 100 1-foot rectangles or 100-foot rectangle? That's a good question. 100 1-foot rectangles, that's like fighting 100 pigeons or something. Maybe a little bit, but pigeons aren't that big. What's like a 1-foot tall bird, like a duck? So it's like 100 ducks. A 100-foot rectangle, that's like fighting a building. So like there's no shot, right? It just falls over and it flattens me. I think 100 1-foot rectangles. Brain for Breakfast made so many good history videos. Yes, he absolutely did. And he is partially what inspired Dick Reiner to make this channel. If you guys don't know Brain for Breakfast, he was a huge member of the Polandball subreddit very, very early on. And he sadly passed away a number of years ago. He had a YouTube channel that was among the first sort of YouTube channels to pioneer country ball and Polandball content on YouTube. I need to copy the hat. Put it on this one. This needs to go up a bit, I think. Perfect. Okay, let's save this. 6. Remember to drop a like on the stream. What do you recommend watching on YouTube? I think Simon Whistler and like the million channels he has are really good. Like War Graphics, Astrographics, Mega Projects. Those are usually better, like pretty well researched. And they put out an insane amount of content. Like just there's like a new like 20-minute long video every single day, So anything that Simon Whistler does is great. Cool Worlds I think is really good space content. It's really high end, and you would probably best sort of appreciate it if you have like maybe like a college level sort of background in science. You like Karl a lot, but he got into some drama. Apparently had many videos that are badly sourced. I mean, that doesn't surprise me. It's really... I think a lot of people probably get caught into a trap of, like, they just need to pump out videos because it keeps engagement high. So they don't really... They're not fastidious about their research. So I can totally see that, a lot of YouTubers, especially when they're making a video about something that they're not necessarily knowledgeable about, we'll sort of just phone it in. Mc07 Snow, thanks for joining. See you later. What's my opinion on Drew Journal? So almost nobody in the r/Polandball community is a fan of Drew Journal because he steals our content and he makes money off of it. And for years, he didn't credit even the artists. So he's stolen my comics and he makes money out of them. So I don't like Drew Journal. I also watch a lot of news about Ukraine. So there's a couple of channels that are sort of dedicated to covering the war in Ukraine. Denis Stavarov is one. He's Ukrainian. He's a pilot. He was a commercial pilot. Now he sort of just covers the war on his YouTube channel. He has a Telegram channel as well. He's really because he's Ukrainian. You know, it's more heartfelt. There's a couple of other channels like William Spaniel that cover the Ukraine war, but they tend to not be Ukrainian, so it's not as they're a little bit more divorced from like the emotional aspect of the war, right? Like the moral sort of part of the war. We should have a month where only Polandball not suitable for work content is made to get rid of Drew. No, I mean we've made this channel because you know we want to be able to showcase our own art, and you know we're providing original content here. So Drew, I think, is primarily a reaction channel. So all right, new panel, width 1080. So this is also something I really don't like. This is going to make me seem old, and I'm not that old. I don't like vertical videos. I think they're dumb. So shorts and TikTok already don't appeal to me, but it's what the people want. So we're going to give the people what they want. Isn't that copyright then? Yeah. We could DMCA Drew or anyone else. I've DMCA'd people before for using my content without express permission or asking. Gaitner tried to DMCA Drew, and Drew threatened to dox him in response. So we're trying to figure out what to do, because it's not cool that he just takes our stuff, you know? Have I heard of the assassin who got arrested for trying to kill Zelensky? Yeah, I mean, that's happened a lot over the past, 2+ years since the war started. There's been a lot of attempts by the Russians and compromise Ukrainian assets to kill Zelensky. All right, so this next panel, I need to draw like a grid. Sort of like a dark blue background, or something like this. Darker than that. That's good. Grid. Okay, this is good. I'm going to merge these. Oh, you know what? I think I can distribute them horizontally. Let's duplicate these. Can I show a fantasy map you made, Marble Sphere? Yeah, absolutely. This is super cool. Are any of you guys into making maps? I know Aaron makes a lot of maps. You should show him too, Marble Sphere. Here it is. Marble Sphere drew this. Fantasy map. An interesting way, I think, of making fantasy maps is like coffee stains, you know? You spill some kind of drink and seeing what this, the pattern that the stains make. That's a great way of coming up with land masses. Gaspard, do you like making fake maps and making fake history scenarios? Yeah. It's cool. I've never really done it myself. But I really like looking at fantasy maps. Pressure Media, can I review your IRL art? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is really cool, Marble Sphere. I like this. Auglium reminds me of New Zealand, kind of. Oh, you missed this part right here. That needs some purple, this little island. Ephros. So let's see. Which of these... A really cool thing that I like doing is... when I look at a fantasy map, I want to see, like, where would the natural borders of nation states be, right? And then you can sort of guess, like, what kind of countries would emerge, which ones would be more powerful than others, right? So, small islands would most likely... Oh, I don't know. We don't know what the scale is here. So, it's unlikely that, say, Ephros, Thugoria, Rasmaunka, Webudia... It's unlikely that those four, like, major islands would be part of, like, a single country, right? Each one of these would probably be a separate country of some kind, a separate state. Skavskal. This one might be more of a maritime power, because I can see, like, a dominant civilization emerging on the main island here, right? And then sort of expanding to these islands and this island. Just by virtue of being like a larger population, having a larger landmass to ostensibly cultivate, you know, a stronger agricultural society and then eventually move out and expand. So then if they have like this many islands, they would be a naval power, right? And they would eventually come into contact with Ephros, Rasmaunka, Webutia, and Thugoria. And they would realize we don't need a powerful army. We need a powerful navy so that we can destroy these guys before they ever threaten our own islands, right? So, in this world, this is the United Kingdom. This is Britain. This is a naval power. It's not a land power. That's how I see this emerging. The other ones I see becoming land powers, particularly Ephros, Thugoria, and Webudia. I think these become land powers because they're the largest land masses, and they're pretty far from other islands. Rasmaunka, I think, becomes a battleground because it's in the middle of this world, right? It's one of the smaller islands, so presumably it won't have like as large of a population. Again, this is knowing absolutely nothing about like the actual climate and whatever, but because it's sort of in the middle. I can see this becoming a battleground between these various warring states, right? Like, this is Poland. So this is the UK, right? This is Poland. And then these other ones are like... I would say Whoa, hold on. If we're going to use Europe as an analogy, I think... Skavskal is the United Kingdom, right? Maritime power because it has all these islands. Ephros, I think, is France. I think Ephros is France because it's also it has to have some kind of maritime ability or naval capacity, right? Because it has a couple of these tiny islands, right? And it is close to this island, right? So they would come into contact pretty quickly with Skavskal and realize that, oh wow, they're a naval power. We need to have a powerful navy as well, right? The other two are more isolated. These are farther from other land masses, so I don't think these are as powerful naval powers. Thugoria, I imagine, is probably... It's bigger. So this might be like your Russia. And Webudia might be like your Germany. Because it's closer to more islands and having more naval and maritime interests than Thugoria. But can't possibly compete with an established naval power, you know? So yeah, so I think... This is France. This is the UK. This is Poland. But Poland is PL, right? This is Russia, RU. And this is Germany, DE. What do you guys think? Do you think that makes sense? ruminate on that. I'm gonna grab some iced tea. So that was pretty cool. If you guys make more fantasy maps, please send them to me. I would love to sort of analyze them more. I think that's fun. Prussian Media, can I review your art? Yes. That's kind of a fuzzy picture. Maybe take a clearer picture, Prussian Media, and I can share it. Yeah, I think this makes sense. But again, all of these states are going to have some kind of naval capacity, right? Because they're all they're relatively isolated because they're islands, right? It's just, I think, Skavskau becomes the preeminent naval power. Oglium, I don't think exists as an independent state. I think Skavskau conquers it quickly. All of them could divide Poland into 4. No, great powers never agree on stuff like that. This is cool. If you have more fantasy maps, please share. But I am curious if you guys agree with that assessment. So is there distribute? There, distribute horizontally. Let's merge these. What is this? This is grid. Grid. Photoshop. Hector Ninia. Oh, sad Germany. Oh, this is cool. You made like a felt country ball plush or something. So Prussian Media made this. This is cool. Very good. Youngblood, did I see the iceberg you posted in Polandball community? I did not. Can I show it on stream? Oh, CHCH has some fantasy maps too. Can we show these on stream? The second one is cool as hell. Super detailed. Those are great. So let's see. I was going to flip this horizontally. Oh, whoa, what the hell is that? Okay. This I flip. Let me oh, okay, because I want to flip it 90 degrees. I'm stupid. High school math. My greatest nemesis. It's not. $90 degrees, there we go. I did it. Simple math. Let's duplicate it. Duplicate again. Duplicate again. Making a grid. Have you ever tried Hearts of Iron 4? I have not. I played Europa Universalis 3 and Victoria 2. I've never really been able to get into grand strategy games, but I'm thinking since a lot of you guys are into it, I might get Victoria 3 and play that on stream. Someone also linked like that Country Balls game. I kind of want to try that. I think that would be cool. There we go. Okay. Perfect grid. Hearts of Iron 4 is a pretty steep learning curve. Don't they all? Bang on balls. Yeah, that's one I think you guys mentioned. All right, Youngblood, I can show you. Okay, Polandball community. Iceberg of Polandball YouTube channel. Okay. Wow, okay, we're getting self-referential content now. So this is the iceberg of the Polandball YouTube channel. So the deeper you go, the more esoteric and niche it becomes. So let's see. PNN, reactions, contests, Polandball live streams, podcasts, animations. Yeah, so this is... Oh, and shorts. So this is all of the content, like regular content that we produce. Comic drawings, we sort of stopped doing that because... You know, we only do them... I mean, that's effectively what the live streams are, you know, so there's no point in making recorded versions of comic drawings. That was one of the things that we learned pretty early on. People didn't really care for the comic drawings, so we don't make videos of those anymore. Polandball map. Yes, because this is a one video essay, it's not a regular appearance. I can see that being a little bit deeper. Profile picture drawing. Yes, because that's one part of the live stream. Polandball Discord, same thing. It's related to the YouTube channel, but... There's the natural filter. Let's see. Kolai map. Kolai. Oh, this is okay. So this is all the map in Kolaya. This is like the RP stuff that you guys are working on. COD. COD, I don't understand. Do you guys play COD together or something? Social Democracy. I don't know what this is a reference to. Polandball Intelligence Agency. This is also some RP thing, right? Original Gate Nerd stream. The very first stream. Sorry, 1 second. Gate Nerd has done 2 streams. The very first stream, and then he did one like a week or 10 days ago, something like that. French Alliance, this is the French Bros. Space Adventures. Very cool. Because we do space. I talk about space a lot. Pole Wars, this is good. We had last stream we had a really cool war in the YouTube chat between there's a vote between France and Germany for what character should have been in my comic. Coup and Mail, I don't know what this is. You could add the 27-second live stream to the iceberg. Yes, that would be good. I think someone deleted it. That was, Gay Nerd was trying to record our podcast, which just came out today. If you haven't seen the podcast or listened to it yet, if you're at all interested in geopolitics, Gay Nerd, Aaron, and I spoke for about 2 hours about geopolitics. The coffee shop, this is supposedly supposed to be something that I'm working on Saturday morning streams, and I haven't done that recently. American Ball Attack, I don't know what this is. Invasion of Canada, I don't know what that is. Spy 9/11, also Youngblood and French Ball, don't know what this is a reference to. Justice for Estonia, I don't know. New Zealand Ball arms deals. Yeah, like this, the bottom 4, I don't know. But yeah, this is some channel lore. You made the cafe for chat before me? Oh, okay. Alright, that was cool. Alright. Okay, so I need to draw the US here at the bottom of this. So 2 panels. The US has to be sad. He's crying. Looks like there's 4 panels actually. So 4 different US's. Butter Wars. Butter Wars would be good too. I remember the Butter Wars. Yeah, the podcast, the audio is really low. That's the main issue that we had with it. But that shouldn't be an issue for the next one. But I thought it was good. We talked about some important stuff. Surprise sneeze. Sneeze scared. The American Ball Attacks was a spammer who kept making accounts the same name. Oh, I remember. Okay. What do I think about the country ball games, especially from SHN? I don't know what SHN is, but someone mentioned ball on attack or something like that. Attack balls. What is it called? That seemed cool. It was like a ball RPG. Oh, Bang on Balls. It's only $12. Bang on Balls Chronicles. Oh, there's a ton of DLC. Damn, that is shameless. Wait, is it Bang on Balls? Yeah, wow, there's so much DLC.
Welcome to Bang on Balls.
I might try this. I might buy it and play it on stream. It looks pretty cool. Like high quality. Certified dad sneeze. SHN makes good games. You tried it and it was fun. Maybe I'll give it a shot. If it's only $12, it's pretty cheap. Okay, so I need to draw USA. Now that I'm looking at it, now I can tell it's the wrong color. It's the wrong blue. To let Aaron know. Here, I'm going to change it. What was the last... Here, my red shirt comic. Take this. See, it's this blue. Here, I'm going to close all of these. Reopen them. Save. I have to do the red too. Okay, here I can do. Doesn't have to be contiguous. Change the red. Change the blue. Save. 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 Okay, cool. Fixed. Close this, close this, close this. What's this? Leon Febres Cordero. Are you no name? I was reading your messages. I can't read every message. Can't respond to every single one, but I try. Bang on Balls, yeah. I'll try Bang on Balls. I think that'll be fun. Maybe on Friday? See, can I stream tomorrow? Yeah, I can stream tomorrow. Okay, let's try the US. Okay, he needs to be crying and he has to be holding his hat. How big should the US be? Like a third Should only be like 3 panels. Wow. Let's do green because I can't see the black on this background. Doing thick outlines. I don't really want to do a thick outline. I lied. Let's do 10. Ooh, okay, that's a pretty good ball. Nice. Have you guys watched Steve MRE 1989? That's a great YouTube channel. It's the guy who eats all the like the pre-prepared meals that armies have. MREs, meals ready to eat. And he was hospitalized after one of them. But he eats like stuff from like, I think he ate like Civil War rations. Absolutely crazy. Yo, you want me to show your art? No name? Where is your art? Put it in the art channel in Discord, and I can show stream. What do we feed Aaron in the basement? Poutine. He subsists only on poutine. So we have to make the US sad. Sunglasses. And then I'll edit the video itself off stream in DaVinci. I don't know how interesting it would be to watch me video editing. You'll be playing audio a lot. 5 pixels. Let's see. Oh, actually, I should bring up Aaron's US real quick. It's gonna be weird. Like the first... What is it? Like the first 90% of this short, you're going to be seeing Aaron's version of the US, and then the last one you're going to see mine. And they're not consistent. They don't look the same. If you join the YouTube channel, you have to enter the basement. Only if you want to produce comics and videos for the channel. We keep Aaron locked up in the basement so that he produces art for us. When did you guys join the fandom? Partial Media joined 2017, 2018, but never posted. I joined 2011, 2012. Geography Nerd 2021. El Country Trilliano 2022, 2023. There's a Game Boy that survived a bombing in the Gulf War. Really? Maryland Ball Productions, you made your first Country Ball video on Christmas 2022. It's a decent amount of time. Stop Motion Dan 2017. Michigan's Naval Artist, you joined into September. That's new. Squared Up between 2018 2019. Bunch of youngins. So this will be classes 1. And he's gonna have to be crying. Let's do glasses 2. I guess looking up a bit. Let's do purple. Ooh, that's good. That's a good sad eye. 2 eyes. merge these. Yeah, I listened to the whole podcast today. We recorded it like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. So even something that's just audio, it takes a while to edit stuff. You found us because of Drew Journal? Yeah, I mean, that's that's very normal. He's got a bigger channel than there are people in the subreddit. That's why we feel like the YouTube channel's got a healthy future, a bright future, because there's more people on YouTube than there are on Reddit, you know? Just like straight up. So yeah. The image is called Todos Unidos Jamás Vencidos. Estamos aquí para cantar el himno de nuestra patria que ningún dictador pudo tocar. That's my Spanish. Oh, didn't I show this on stream before? This is No Name's art. I thought I showed this on stream before, didn't I? No Name made this. Eisenhower. You got most of South America here. Oh, you got Argentina, Peru, Ecuador. Is this Venezuela? No, this is Colombia, I think. Brazil. Is that Paraguay or Uruguay? I can never remember which one. And then what's this on the left? I don't recognize. Got oil. Oh, Chile. I didn't even see Chile. Chile's there. Is that another country behind it? Or is that just supposed to be like a US shield or something? Captain America shield. French ball, welcome. Oh, last time it was smaller and lower quality? Okay. Pete, you sent a fantasy map? Oh, I forgot to ask CHCH, can I show your fantasy maps? Can I speak another language? Je peux parler français. Un peu. My French is very rusty. I used to be much better 10 years ago, but I've never really had the opportunity to use it. Let's look at Pete's fantasy map real quick. This is cool, No Name. I like this. I like the... Is that supposed to be Eisenhower? Doesn't quite look like him. South American countries getting back to democracy after years of dictatorships, circa 1981. Yeah, his Operation Condor was the blanket name for like CIA-backed coups and interventions in Latin America to install pro-American governments, regardless of whether or not they were democratic. All right, here's Pete's map. Pete, immediately when I'm looking at this, it's a little small, but here, we'll zoom in. This map, it looks like it takes a lot of inspiration from the real world. Left side looks like Canada, United States. This is Florida. This is Mexico, Central America, and then like it sort of flattens out. You've got Antarctica at the bottom, and then there's like a land bridge connecting North America to Europe. It looks like either UK or Greenland up here, maybe both. This would be like Denmark or something, and then this looks like India, Indonesia. This looks a lot like the actual map, you know? But still cool. You see an elephant sucking a boot. Where's the... Oh, you know what? You're right. Okay, here. This is the elephant, right? And then this is the boot on the right. I can kind of see it. The elephant has hair too, yeah. He's got Trump hair. For your second language, you're learning German. Das ist gut. Alright, let's show CHCH's stuff. Whoops, I didn't mean to close that. CHCH made these fantasy maps. So this one is really cool. you can see they're sort of topographical, right? So you've got the higher peaks up here, the white. So we've got a big island surrounded by 4 smaller islands, and then some smaller islands still. This is really cool. All right, let's see what we can learn about this. Let's take a look at this island first. So you have a river that goes into, this looks maybe like a collapsed volcanic caldera or something. You're gonna get, first of all, you're gonna get great agriculture on all of these islands except for the southeast one, right? The southeast one doesn't look like there's any active volcanoes, so the soil is not going to be as rich in nutrients as the other ones. Like highly volcanic islands, volcanic land, has very, very fertile soil. So it's one of the reasons why Indonesia is so populated, despite having very little land area, is because they're basically all volcanic islands, right? So it looks like you've got volcanoes on all the other ones. I'm assuming. That's what these mountains are, right? Like they're islands, presumably they're islands that were formed by volcanoes, plate tectonics, whatever, right? So yeah, bottom right one is going to be mostly barren, harsh living here because it's mostly ice and snow. All the other ones look okay. This one, again, let's go back to this one. Sort of 2 different biomes here, right? The southwestern part of the island, southwestern half, probably harsher climate, you know, because you've got a larger ice cap here, glaciers. But the rest of it looks better, probably more habitable. But you still have a central peak, 2 central peaks here, right? So you're gonna have very little arable land near the coastline, right? But again, you do have like this river that goes into an inland lake. So this is a good natural harbor right here. Same thing here. This is a great natural harbor, this whole area. Like, this is a big harbor, and then you've got a smaller harbor, and then you've got access to the inland through the river, right? And you have a lot more land on the big island, and you have all of these rivers that make it a little bit easier to get from the sea more inland. So you're going to have cities pop up, like, along all of these rivers, you know? Especially down here. This is going to be the biggest city, I think, in the entire map. Because that's such a good, easily defensible spot, right? Like, take a look at this. You have, again, it's a harbor, right? You've got a river, so you've got a lot of fresh water. You're going to get great agriculture. This is a volcanic island, so the soil is going to be great. But look at this. You have a choke point here, and you have a choke point here, and a choke point here. Those are the only 3 ways to get into the harbor, right? So you're basically impervious to naval attack. But if you did like an amphibious assault here, you're pretty close, but amphibious assaults are hard. What else can we see here? This tiny island is going to be dominated by this bigger one because it's very close. Big island, a lot of arable land. This island on the right, great harbor here, but it's a small country, or a small island. You got 2 lakes up here, 2 rivers that go pretty far inland, and it's got this companion island. Pretty cool. And then this one up here. You could get a big city here. Because about 1/3 of the island is covered in rivers and lake. So this would be good for trade. Rivers are great for trade. And then these 3 minor islands are inconsequential. This one looks... They all look pretty rugged. This is a really cool map. Big fan. This is the other map CHCH made. Sphinxin, thanks for joining. Sleep well. All right, let's take a look at this one. This one's really detailed. Look, we got Poland. Poland cannot into space, but Poland can into sea. All right, so this is like a backward-shaped sea of an island. So yeah, so you got your harbor here, right? There's a shipwreck, the SS Durnham. You've got cannons protecting the inside of the harbor. Fort Patrick's, more cannons. A couple of islands inside the harbor and just out off the coast. Hidden beach, campsite, hidden trailhead that leads to hidden beach. There's a waterfall here. River that leads to an inland lake. Val de Ruby? Ruby Valley, I guess, is this a city? No, it's a building. And then the light brown are roads. Okay, so these are buildings. City Historical District, Old Church, Old Ranch Farm, Fishing Village at the harbor. Here's the dock. Or the pier, rather. Bluff Village. There's a mine. Bunker, more cannons. Grants Observatory, Scenic Viewpoint. Oh, okay, the grays are mountains. Okay, cool. Yeah, that would make sense. The mines in the mountains. Abandoned building, roadblock. Very cool. I like how detailed this is. This is sick. These maps are old. Guess Fred has a fantasy map. Let's take a look at this one. This one's really cool, too. Wow, we should just do, like, map streams every now and then. Guess Fred. This is Guess Fred's fantasy map. Close this. All right. What do I immediately see? Okay, so it looks like you already have borders here. So a couple things that I would notice, that I immediately notice, is that in like the natural course of development, at least if we're basing it off of, you know, what happened in the real timeline, an island like this wouldn't exist. One of these halves is going to conquer the other one. There's no natural borders here, right? This island is all just like presumably grassland. I don't see any change in terrain. One of these sides is going to conquer the other. So it looks like here, let's see, we've got a big state here, right? We've got a big state. I don't know how a state like this one exists, actually. The second one that I drew. They have all of this coastline, right, to defend. But then they border other powers, and they have like a land. They're like, they have this corridor that passes through the entire island or continent to the other side. Like this does not seem defensible, you know? A larger power can come in, just like cut through that. Especially here, because it's mostly desert, so it'd be hard to defend it. Yeah, it's possible that like these smaller ones exist as buffer states between the larger powers. It looks like there's a disputed territory here, right? That's why you have dashed lines, I imagine. Looking at it, I would say that probably like the safest of these islands or nations is probably, well, no, because so this island is split into four or five different territories. Again, like these borders, they're on like the way that borders developed on Earth were basically where natural borders existed. That's why we have island nations like the UK or Japan, and island or countries where their borders, like the border between France and Spain is the Pyrenees, right? The border between Italy and like the rest of continental Europe are the Alps, right? It just makes sense to sort of for the country to end there because those are places where it becomes very easy to defend your territory, right? To defend that border, and very hard for an aggressor to cross, right? So what I see on this map are a lot of lines, a lot of borders that sort of exist in like the generic sort of presumably like flat grassland territory, right? Those don't seem very easily defensible. like think of like the Great Northern European Plain, where it extends from northern Germany basically all the way out to the Ural Mountains in Russia. It's all flat, and that's where you've had all of those wars between all those powers there: Austria-Hungary, Russia, Poland, Germany, right? Ukraine, Russia. Because there are no real natural borders. There's a lack of natural borders that make that territory easily defensible, right? Like, think of Ukraine east of the Dnieper River. It's all just, like, flat, you know? That's why it's so hard for them to defend against Russia. But, so, okay, looking at this map, I think this country right here, this is the most secure. Because they have a buffer state here, and then a very, very small choke point here. So very easy to defend if they needed to. And then a very small state here that presumably they would need to have good relations with, right? Because this country has only one border, and it's with a much larger power, so presumably it's pacified. And then it's surrounded by water on the rest of its sides. You've got a good natural harbor here, and here, and here. So I think these guys are set. This is the biggest country, right? But because they're on the main continent, they share a border with a lot of these different states. It's going to be hard to get along with all of them. But this is a really good map. Yeah, it's very complicated. All right. Let's finish drawing the U.S. That was super cool. I like doing these fantasy flags, but like when I look at a fantasy flag, that kind of analysis I just did is immediately like what comes to mind, you know? Let's do glasses 2 first. Actually, let's make this glasses 1. We'll make this one glasses 2. Okay. Let's get the colors. Line behind USA. Yeah, if you guys have more art or maps to share, feel free to send it to me in Discord. Ping me. There's a good subreddit. I think it's called r/fantasy maps or imaginary maps. That has a lot of cool stuff there. So you can use that for inspiration. r/imaginary maps. I think that's what it is. There's also a world building subreddit, and a lot of that is map making too. Contiguous. Let's do some stars. I hate doing the stars. Well, how was everybody's day? I didn't ask earlier. Did you guys do anything cool? I didn't. I had a bunch of work. You say sunglasses look sad? Yep, they do. That's the idea. We're making a short where I guess it's based off this meme trend on TikTok. It's some like cowboy hat song. And the last 2 panels, he's supposed to look sad. This week is a testing week. Oh, are you in finals? Man, I do not miss school. Once you're finally out of school and you're an adult, you have a lot more freedom. But life also becomes less structured, which takes a while to get used to. At least it did for me. So it can be very easy to sort of get complacent. But generally, I think it's better. It's just you have responsibility, which sucks. Being a student, you don't really have to be responsible. You don't have to do anything except for homework, studying, you know? Like, looking back, it's a lot easier. But the cool thing with most jobs, unless you're like, you know, an executive, you get to leave your work at work. So like 5 o'clock rolls around, you're done, you know? You turn your brain off. You can draw stupid cartoon balls. Although technically I do work past 5. But rarely. It's one of those things. Well, I have a small audience, but an audience nonetheless. There's always work to do. You know, it doesn't matter. Like this applies to the real world, not to school. For school, like do your homework and study. You know, be prepared for tests. But when you enter the real world, like you don't need to be like answering emails at 9 o'clock. You know, like there's always work to do. Work never ends. Copy paste those because I don't care. Quicker way of doing the stars there. True Journal reviewed my Eclipse comic. One of these days I'm going to DMCA him. It's bullshit that he just steals my content, you know? And he has 1.3, 1.4 million subs. You studying for a test you have tomorrow? When you were leaving school, there was a fight. There weren't many fights in my schools. Oh, I was walking to work yesterday and I saw a car accident. It happened right in front of me. It was I was waiting to cross the street. Light turns green. The guy, like I'm looking at the guy. It's a car right in front of me on the street. He's looking at his phone. Light turns green. He puts his phone down and he starts pulling into the next lane over to his right, so away from me. And he pulls into it right as another car is coming from behind him. And the cars hit each other. And the car that was on the right lane coming up behind him swerved onto the sidewalk and was able to stop just before hitting a building. And the guy bumped into the car in front of him too. So luckily there were no pedestrians in the way, but there were a lot of pedestrians around. And I do remember distinctly thinking, maybe I can cross the street before this car gets here, even though I don't have the light, but I decided against it, so. I didn't get hit, but if I had crossed the street like 10 seconds earlier, there's a good chance I could have been hit by a car. But I wasn't, so. Not today, Darwin. It was pretty scary, like, Could have easily killed someone. That guy. So, if you guys are ever driving, don't be on your phone. I hate how like commonplace that's become. Like that's super dangerous. All these Uber drivers that I've had, they're just like looking at their phone all the goddamn time. Like, you're gonna kill someone. Just pay attention when you're driving. You have 2 more maps, Prussian Media? Yeah, I'll take a look at them. Let me finish drawing this US real quick. We need to give him tiers. Let's see. I did tiers. Old comic of mine. Let me see if I can find it. It was a game show with Switzerland as the host. What was it called? A winner of game show is Vu or something. Pass, here it is. This is an old comic of mine, maybe from like 2016, 2015. Okay. Congratulazioni! Ein winner the game show is Vu. So for Switzerland, I try to combine French, German, and Italian and English. For you, Le Grand Prize, eh? Ein too expenses paid trip up Poland. Poland with his little bow tie. Pass. What is this shice? Who has passed that up? Drew Journal once stole one of your YouTube videos, didn't credit you, as when you had like 400 subscribers and you gained nothing. Yeah, I mean, that sucks. That's what he does with our stuff. You know, like, we produce a ton of the content that he reviews. He has 1.4 million subs. We have just under 7,000. You know? Yeah, you could DMCA him. Your parents told you that there was a crash on your road. The victim was a 20-year-old woman who was unfortunately ejected out of the car. Oof. Was she not wearing a seatbelt? Even if we were to watermark our content, like, no one would read watermark content on YouTube or on the Polandball subreddit, and he would still just read it, you know? Yeah, and you can't sign Polandball comics. No, we'll eventually DMCA him at some point. Not yet, but doxing is against the YouTube terms of service. I did look it up, so I was wondering whether or not I could just DMCA him, and if he threatens to dox me, I could just tell him, like, this is against YouTube TOS. If you do it, then I'll just, you know, bring this higher up in YouTube. But the problem is, like, when you're a channel that has 1.4 million subs, you're worth more to YouTube than a channel with 7,000, you know? But yeah, like, if you guys are involved with, you know, other, like, you know, his viewers, just, like, tell them, like, he's just straight up steals people's content, you know? Have them come here instead. We do OC here, original content. So anyway, I was telling you guys, one of the cool things about art is that, like, you see somebody else's artwork, it inspires you, you can sort of copy it or emulate it, right? So Dick Rhino made a comic once, many years ago, where he drew Poland, I think it was Poland, crying like this, and I copied it. I thought it was great. So I'm going to do something like this for the US. That's why I was looking for this comic. Like, these streams of tears. We'll do it under the glasses. He usually watches videos. He barely reads them. Yeah, I mean, he's primarily a reaction YouTuber, a React content creator. There's nothing wrong with, like, React content in and of itself. It's just that that's literally, like, all he does, you know? You know, the people that work on this, channel, we actually make content. We make our animations. We make, like, I'm drawing something right now, right? Like, this is something that didn't exist 10 minutes ago. And then somebody else is gonna take it, you know, and not give me credit. Like when Polandball always had like an anti monetization sort of policy. Like we didn't want people to like make money off of it, but then people did anyway. So it's like, well, I mean, I'd rather it sort of just be like an open thing. But if somebody else is going to make money off of my art, I might as well try and make money off of my art, you know? If I don't, someone else is going to, and that's kind of stupid. Some lines behind the tiers. I don't think Drew does live streams either, does he? I think that should be darker. Oh, I feel so bad. You recommend that you put a little watermark in the final panel near the ball so that if someone reviews it, then you'll be kind of credited. I mean, we can't do that for the sub. So sad. Let's do 1 pixel. Just make it a little bit easier. One of the things that I read in the news today that was super funny, RFK Jr., Robert F. Kennedy Jr., he's running third party for president, right? U.S. president. Today, he said that he had brain worms, literal brain worms. He said doctors had found a parasite, a worm in his brain, and had eaten part of his brain, which would explain a lot because this dude is absolutely insane. So that was funny. Might cover that in PNN. Yeah, Prussian media, we'll do your maps. I only need to draw one more USA after this. Oh, yeah, that's good. We'll do the same over here. Yeah, that looks better. Actually, I don't know how I feel about this one. Okay. Yeah, it looks better. I like this. Who got brainworms? RFK Jr., Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He's a third-party candidate for president. He's an absolute idiot. He's a clown. So today he said that doctors at some point in his life had found a worm in his brain, and he said it had eaten part of his brain. It was presumably a tapeworm of some kind. But, yeah. Dude had literal brain worms. Okay, so USA won. Alright, let's take a look at Prussian media's flags real quick. Or maps, rather. Yeah, if you guys make fantasy maps, fantasy flags, I'm more than happy to check it out. You still don't know who's running for president this year? Are you in the US, Yellow Hexagon? If you have brainworms, then it's a reason not to run for president? You would think. Alright. So we have two maps. We have a political map and we have a topographical map. Oh, your Prussian media is British. There are three main candidates. There's Trump for the Republicans, Joe Biden for the Democrats, and then Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is running as an independent. All right. So, fantasy maps. We have, what, 6 islands? 7 islands, I guess, if there's you count the tiny one. Just looking at it. Here, let's make it bigger. This island are inconsequential. They're too small. They've got nothing going for them. This one is probably the best one, honestly. Well, let's think about it. You've got 3 main contenders. These 3, right? The other islands are too small. This one right here, the bottom right island, it's got presumably a volcano here, so there's not enough arable land here to have like a large population, right? The other ones, it looks like there's more arable land. The middle one looks like it has the most arable land, but the volcanoes are a little bit smaller, so presumably it's less violent when they explode. Or erupt, rather, right? So I want to say that like you probably have the most stability on this island. It has the most arable land, like relative to its actual size. So this is probably a very densely populated island. The one on the right also has a good amount of arable land. But really, it's mostly here, right? The rest of it is pretty kind of like rugged, you know? And you have only this much this isn't a lot of space to have farmland. You would probably build. You would want to build your cities or something farther away from the farmland, right? So you'd probably build them here. And then you've got big mountains, so it's hard to cross, right? You'd have to go around, right? This island, you can traverse this way, right? Because you have a flatland between, a valley between the two mountains. This one on the left, this looks like the big island of Hawaii, kind of. It's like shaped like a triangle, kind of. You've got a harbor here. Good natural defense for the harbor, right? Because you have 2 choke points. That little island. Good amount of arable land, right, on the outside of this here. This is the arable land. Right? The light green is the arable land. But it's all around the coast. And this is probably more mountainous, so it's harder to farm in the middle. But easier to pass through this island than, say, this one, right? Because you have a literal mountain range blocking passage. So I would say this is probably the dominant power. And then probably this one. And then this one would be third. So 1, 2, 3. And the other ones are up for grabs. Oh, it actually is based off Hawaii? Okay, well, there you go. This is your political map. So we got some fantasy flags. This is my favorite flag. This is cool. Again, here, you wouldn't have 2 different states here. One of them would have conquered the other. And presumably, this is part of this state. So this should all probably just be one state. You know, it's anytime I see like a big island with good geography and a tiny island near it, the historical analog I think of are Great Britain and Ireland. Right? It was inevitable that Great Britain was going to conquer Ireland at some point, right? Because they could. That sums up historical imperialism. Countries conquered other ones because they could. Or USA. You propose for the presidency of the U.S. to sell Hawaii to Chile, and then you just retire. Hawaii is one of the most geostrategically important places on the planet because it's right smack dab in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. It makes it very easy for whoever controls Hawaii to get anywhere that is adjacent to the Pacific Ocean. So that's one of the reasons, the chief reason why the U.S. has been a Pacific power since it conquered Hawaii in the Spanish-American War in 1898, is because Hawaii is in such a good location. And I believe that's where the U.S. Navy's 7th Fleet is headquartered, which is the responsible for East Asia and the Pacific. But now the U.S. also has Guam, which is even more forward located. Won that in World War II. I want to say Guam was it was a German island originally, right? Or a German colony. And then in like the 1920s, or toward the end of World War I, Japan sort of... Did Japan win it in the Treaty of Versailles? And then the U.S. won it from Japan in World War II. But Guam is also very strategically placed. But it's not as big as the Hawaiian Island chain. The Hawaiian Island chains are... Hawaiian Island chain is pretty significant. So, the state of Hawaii has like 1.5 million people or something, which is pretty considerable for an island chain that's pretty remote. I've been to Hawaii twice in my life, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I've never been to Oahu, which is where Honolulu is, the most built-up island. I've been to Maui and the Big Island. The Big Island is gorgeous. You saw Andy Hall last night? That was Woody Allen's first movie, right? It's one of his most famous, not his worst, or his first. That was in a different treaty. Versailles was only for Germany? Gotcha. Okay. Prussian media, thank you for the rating. Shall improve. Oh, I mean, I wasn't making a judgment on, like, the quality of it. I just, when I was looking at the map, I was just trying to figure out, like, where would the natural borders be, what countries would exist. You know? Let's do some stars. Louisiana is all the beach you need. I've never been to Louisiana. You never went to Hawaii before? It's too expensive? Yeah, Hawaii is a very expensive place, for sure. It's an expensive place to live as well, because most of its food is imported from the U.S. mainland, because there's very little arable land in Hawaii. It's also a tourist hotspot, right? So you get an influx of, like, rich people coming in and spending their money. The indigenous population was discriminated against, just like in every part of the, of the U.S. at some point in history. So the indigenous population is poorer than, like, the white population. And it's very densely populated, so there's a lot of competition for resources that are scarce, right? Like housing. There's not that much land to build houses on in Hawaii. Woody Allen's horrible and evil person, by the way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's like a child rapist or something, isn't he? Or he was accused of, like, child molestation by his ex-wife. Right? Mia Farrow? Am I thinking of that correctly? Yeah, he's not a good person. He made funny movies, but, like, that's not a justification. God, I hate trying the US flag. Do you guys like the US flag? Like, just purely aesthetically, do you think, like, it's a good-looking flag? Because I don't think it's that good. I think it's, like, a high C tier, maybe low B tier. It's recognizable, but, like, whatever the flag is of the US would always be recognizable just because it's the US, you know? But aesthetically, I think it's, like, it's pretty mid. I'm not really a fan. Like the flag, hate drawing it? Yeah, drawing it is even worse. Like, I don't... It's not the worst flag out there in terms, like, aesthetically. I don't think it's one of the better ones, you know? But yeah, it's a pain in the ass to draw. Too many stars. Too many stripes. You like the 13-star flag? Yeah, I think the Betsy Ross flag is definitely better. Hard agree. Very hard agree. The hardest of agrees. Merge these. Nearly done. Oh, so sad. Like how he's crying behind the sunglasses. You can't see it. If you can't see his eyes, he's not crying. If someone had to take a cake for worst channel, it would be Mr. Spherical and his clones. He's the reason why there's so many children content farms on Polandball YouTube now. I mean, there's nothing wrong with like a channel appealing to children or any kind of age demographic. I think Mr. Spherical's content is good. It's just like not really Polandball content, you know? I don't like the pupils, the hair, and the mouths that he puts on the balls. But like, I think his content is good, you know? I would like it better if it was just more true to Polandball form. You know, like the U.S. flag? You like simple flags like the orange Dutch flag? Yeah, the orange Dutch flag goes hard. I agree. I did 2. Clean these up. I think for the Saturday morning stream, I might do that Bang on Balls game. I think that'd be fun. These classes feel a little big, but that's alright. Geography Nerd, you have a 79-day streak on Duolingo? I think the longest streak I've ever had on Duolingo was like 12 days. I don't think it's that great. Like, it's better than nothing, but I think you best learn a language when you're immersed in it, you know? Like when you're speaking with someone and you're forced to listen to people speak it. Telling people you play a game called Bang on Balls would surely be a good interaction, for sure. Read grammar books and watch shows? Yeah. Favorite comedy movie? Ooh. Oh, I'd have to think. I thought 21 Jump Street was hilarious. I have never rewatched it, but watching it through, I was like laughing the entire time. I thought it was great. Airplane is a classic. The Naked Gun series, classic. I liked National Lampoon's Vacation with Chevy Chase. That was great. Tropic Thunder is hilarious. Especially the first time watching it. It was great. Oh, I need to give him a his cowboy hat as well. I forgot to draw that. Behind USA. Whoops. Here and here. Cowboy hat's gonna be hard to draw. I hate drawing hats. Here. Here. There. And let's do one more over here. All right. Duolingo is okay, but you don't know people who speak German. Yeah, so I mean, I spoke about this on a stream a couple days ago. There are certain languages that are hard to learn because you don't really get the opportunity to speak it with somebody else, which is one of the reasons why English, despite being like a language that doesn't have a lot of rules that make sense, is relatively easy to learn for most people, just because English language media is absolutely ubiquitous, you know? It's everyone across the world can find American TV shows, American literature, you know, British movies, whatever. Like they're everywhere. It's really, really easy to find. It's a lot harder to find Tamil language media, you know, if you don't live in Sri Lanka or India, right? You're not going to find Filipino content or Indonesian content living in Brazil. You know, it's hard. These are pretty good. The stars on this USA kind of suck, but whatever. It's good enough. It's just for a short, so. To give him his little cowboy hat. He's to be holding his hat in front of him. Close this one. See, how did Aaron draw this hat? Aaron, I love Aaron's style. It's so... It's very minimalist, you know? Like, he doesn't put extra fluff on his balls or on his objects, you know? It's just, what you see is what you get. I love how he's in the boot like this. Pulley, you've got to go. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Hope to see you next stream. I'm probably going to end stream soon anyway. Probably after I finish drawing these hats. So he has to be holding like the hat in front of him. So how am I going to do this? Like 10 pixel. Does it kind of look like the hat, like looking at it edge on? I don't know. It kind of looks like a donut or something. An eclair. Some kind of pastry. You feel kind of disappointed that you don't own a cowboy hat? I don't think I've ever owned a cowboy hat. What is this comic about? This is for a short that I should be able to get out tomorrow morning, so you guys will see it. But it's based on some TikTok trend that's going around. I'd have Gaynerd explain it to me. I don't understand it. Gaynerd is more into the hot new memes that show up on TikTok since he's a TikToker. USA when he realized The Rock found the oil first. Nah, this is a bad hat. I'm gonna hold it like down here. Let's see bigger. Cowboy hats are like unnecessarily large, you know? I mean, I guess that's the point, but ooh, okay, this is alright. This is alright. Salvageable. Something like that. This needs to go out more, huh? The way Aaron drew it is like comically, comically large. Damn, he drew a good cowboy hat. You forgot the name of the place, so you just call it Cowboy Land or some cowboy theme park? Oh, you have a cowboy hat from when you were little. Your parents gave you Cowboy Land? Cowboy theme park. Opinion on Stroopwafel? Big fan. Stroopwafels are great. One of like the few like Dutch desserts or foods that I'm familiar with. Okay, this is pretty good. I like this. Now I just need to do the shading like Aaron did it, you know? The video editing process itself is actually really fun. I had done some video editing of like video game stuff years ago in Sony Vegas, like over a decade ago, and I really liked it. It was that and like learning Photoshop and doing Polandball was my creative outlet 10, 15 years ago. So relearning how to do video editing was super fun. A lot of it sort of just came back naturally. But I use DaVinci Resolve now, which is a different program from Sony Vegas. I don't know if Sony Vegas is even still a thing, but it's been really fun to relearn how to do video editing. some shading here. All right, I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks like a cowboy hat, right? Looks pretty similar to what Aaron drew. Amped Animation Channel. You like the hat? Great. I think I like it too. I think it looks pretty good. It's obvious that it's a cowboy hat, right? Okay, cool. Let's center them, I guess. This looks like it's centered. Oh, he's so sad. Okay, so this will be one. This is outro. This will be outro too. Give him a hot dog? No, he has to be sad. If he had a hot dog, he wouldn't be sad. Have you ever seen somebody with a hot dog who was sad? It's not possible to be sad with a hot dog. Give him a happy meal. Dragon Destroyer, hello, you're Lithuania Ball Productions. Can you change your name? Amp, I'm good at art. Thank you, I appreciate that. Dan, can I show your fantasy map on stream? Yes. Map of the Maple Empire. Man, a lot of cool fantasy maps. You guys are gonna have to make more. I want to show more of them on stream. Map of the Maple Empire. So Stop Motion Dan made this. Let's take a look. So we've got a big continent in the south and 2 islands. So let's take a look at the continent first. I guess a 3rd island. I don't know what that is. The Maple Empire and the Mechanists of Barkdale. I like this flag on the left, the Maple Empire flag. That's cool. This one, I think this is like, is this inspired by the South African flag? Like the old South African flag, like the apartheid South African flag? Where it had, what was it? The apartheid South African flag was the flag of South Africa from 1928 to 1994. That's what it immediately reminded me of. This was the flag of South Africa until the apartheid regime was dissolved. So it's you have the 3 little flags here, and one of them is flipped vertically. That's what I thought of here, the Mechanists of Barkdale. Is that right? Oh, that was a complete accident? Really? Wow, okay. Well, I guess my my brain has been rotted from looking at all these flags. Alright, so there's not a lot of, like, complexity on the southern continent, so it's hard to say, like, what's going on here other than you've got a beach, right, with a coastline, and this all just looks like flat grassland, right? So, again, kind of hard for me to believe that in the absence of natural borders that you would have 2 states here. I'd imagine one of these states would have conquered the other. Apocalypse Bringers. This looks like it's I don't know, is this like a volcanic rock? I don't know what's going on here. You've got a purple rectangle, I don't know what that is. It's an interesting flag, and I don't know what these, like these mechs are, these robots. Alright, let's go up here. The Portalian Republic and Tradeston. I like this flag. It's a cool flag. Let's see, on this peninsula you have some mountains blocking the peninsula, and then I don't know what that purple thing is. It's an it's an automaton nation. Okay, the gray one. That's cool. And then Tradeston is the bigger. You've got mountains in the center of the island. That makes sense. It's the bigger of the two islands, and this is a better harbor than this one. But it's like not great. This is more of a bay. These are bays. They're kind of big. They're not necessarily harbors, but this one seems like it'd be the more successful because it's the larger of the two. More arable land in the green. But we don't have a sense of scale here. So maybe these guys at the bottom are huge. Now, VA Science SL, can you guess who I am? I have no idea. You know what? You know what'd be cool? Here, I'm going to... I like this fantasy... I want to do more fantasy map content in the future, but I'm going to do something crazy. Alright, I'm going to draw some continents. I'm going to close my eyes and draw. And we're going to see what they look like, okay? So, this will be... Continent... I can't spell continent. Continent 1. Alright. Closing my eyes now. I'm trying to guess where the thing is. Alright, open eyes. Okay, I can work with that. Continent 2. Closing my eyes. Here we go. Opening. Alright, I'm gonna just connect this like here. Continent 3. I'll do it in the southwest. Closing my eyes. Open. Oh, that's cool. Let's do island in the middle. Closing my eyes. Okay. This is like a goldfish. What's up, everybody? Oh shit, wrong account. Oh, it's Gate Nerd. What's up, Gate Nerd? Everybody say hi to Gate Nerd in the chat. He edited the podcast that came out today. Go ahead and take a listen. Drop a like on the podcast. Even if you don't want to listen to the podcast, go and like the video at least, so that the algorithm notices us. Let's do Island 2. Okay. And Island 3. Let's do it over here. So it looks like I can draw two types of things. Island 3 and Island 1 are the exact same. They're just fish. Right? And then, here, I'll take red. This and this look the same. So my unconscious mind, my random scribblings, just produce the same stuff. Your favorite continents: Trans-North America, dented Europe, and global warming Antarctica. Alright, is it Island 3? Let's fix this real quick. You know what we can do? Island 3. Flip it vertically. Flip it horizontally. Put it down here. Continent 1. This does look like demented North America. Dented North America. Some fantasy maps. fantasy map. In my streaming folder. Quite the cartographer. Continent 2 is a seagull. Yeah, it kind of is. Right? Here, it's a dinosaur. Let's merge all of these. I think we have a desert run along the equator. Maybe some here. I've never done fantasy maps before. This is interesting. Some island, mountains in the center. I could totally get into drawing maps. Aaron would love this. Right part of the bottom continent looks like an alligator with bunny ears. Oh, it's true, it does. Like, here's the eye, here would be the teeth, and this is the bunny ear. No, I keep drawing eyes on these islands. We should have Aaron do a fantasy map stream. Rosaria, how's it going? VA Science, you have two questions. Why was I floating the podcast? Is your basement, the back rooms, also your Sinister? Sinister Sri Lankan Productions. Okay. Gaitner did the animations in the background. He did all the editing for the podcast, so I think he just wanted to make me float because I'm in a spacesuit, so it's like I was in 0G. Is the basement in the back rooms? We don't disclose the location of the basement because we don't want anyone freeing Aaron. Yeah, no, I thought it was funny. I liked it. Gaitner, I thought it was cool. Does Aaron get free food in the basement? Yeah, we keep him well fed. My fantasy map. Pretty bad. But, I think this island up here is probably the safest. They're farthest away from everyone else. And it's an island. They've got a good harbor here. They've got a good harbor here. A good harbor here. And a good harbor here. Right? And pretty... I mean, I guess it's kind of hard. You can't cut through the island, whereas, like, all the other islands you can cut through because there's no real mountains. Or I guess this one has mountains you can't really cut through. Too much of an ice sheet here. There's a lot of desert, so you don't have a lot of arable land in the center two islands and continents. Yeah, and, like, all these are just too close together, the other ones. So I think the top left continent, this is a superpower. All the other ones are divided. Like, you're probably going to have nations here. This is probably... Well, this might be, like, divided by several powers. This one would probably be a battleground between the two big continents as well. Interesting fantasy flag. Okay. This is what I drew today. So preview of the short for tomorrow. When Aaron gets a wrist cramp or carpal tunnel, what's the protocol? He uses his other hand until the other one heals. That's why you've got two hands. Rosario, have you been drawn yet? No. I'll go back to profile picture drawing maybe tomorrow. Yeah, we force feed him poutine like he's a duck. We want foie gras. We're fattening Aaron up. And then we're going to eat him. Yeah, so Gay Nerd, for the outro of the short, it's going to be... Did I say both of them? I did, yeah. So I thought this would be cool. 2 a.m. your dog's awake. Dick Rhino's secretly keeping everybody on the channel in the basement. There was a very old joke really early on in the subreddit when Dick Rhino was like the most dominant artist that every other account was a Dick Rhino alt. So the joke was that Aaron's account and my account were Dick Rhino alts, and that it was basically like 90% of the comics that were being made were just Dick Rhino under different names. So let's see. Aaron drew this. It's the hat. Hat and the boot. Boot with the spur. The normal boot. So this came out well. Can you be let out of the basement? It's kind of dark in here. You're out of routine. No, everybody stays in the basement until they make more Polandball comics. Oh, speaking of, let me check Polandball. There was a new comic last time I went there. Yeah, there's a Total Solar Annoyance 6 days ago. Most recent Polandball comic. There's an audience for Polandball comics. The last two I posted got 1,500 and 2,000 upvotes respectively. Can you guys stay in the basement? Stay in the basement and draw. Polandball theory number 5. Colai and Dick Rhino built Aaron Bot 14 together. Guys, hear me out. Colai, Gaitner, Dick Rhino, and Aaron are all in the basement. Chicken Scuttle Monkey is secretly using their screams as samples for his songs. Chicken Scuttle Monkey would be a good dungeon keeper. I could see him with like that, what is it called? Like the black mask that dungeon keepers wear. You know, it goes like over the shoulders as well. And he has like a whip. You finished the drawing. Can you get your weekly food rations? Add shading. More shading. All right. Let's see. Is there anything I can share? Aaron put out some recent comics, right? I need to shower. I went outside. It was humid today. It was like 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Pretty humid. Chang'e is in lunar orbit. NASA's shitting their pants. I think NASA's shitting their pants. Just like, it's pretty clear that China's space program is moving at a pretty respectable clip. Executioner's Hood. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, Gay Nerd. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I would love for, the U.S. to beat China to putting men back on the moon, humans on the moon. I think it's probably a 60-40 chance that the U.S. beats China to it, but I don't think so. I don't think it's like a sure thing. And it's not like the worst, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but like, American nationalists are going to get super butthurt if China beats us to the moon again. But they're going to pretend like, oh, well, we did it in 1969, so it doesn't matter now. It's like, well, doesn't it? Like, what does it say about your country if you were able to go to the moon in 1969, but you get beat doing it again, 50, 60 years later. Like, it's something that you used to be able to do. It's like being able to, it's like when you were in your prime versus, like, your late 50s or something, and thinking that you can still kick a football really far, but you can't, because you're not in college anymore. Yeah, you guys, like, get what Gainer suggested. You guys should make fan art and send it to us in Discord, then we can do a review video at some point when we get enough with permission. Like, the fantasy... the fantasy flag stuff I did today was super fun. I don't know if you guys were interested in that, but, like, I loved looking at the maps and thinking, like, what kind of state would emerge here? What would their interests be? How would they interact with other countries? Jacob, did we review your dog? No, let's show a picture of your dog. Dog update. Jacob's dog. Jacob's dog. What's your dog's name, Jacob? It's a cute dog. Guess Fred. We've got another fantasy map. It's a cute dog. Shalvely, how's it going? Josuo. How's it going? Draw a comic about all of the YouTube chatters in the basement using your balsonas that have been drawn so far. That's going to be really hard. There's so many chatters. Does one of the smiley faces on the wall like geography? Chain noises as you pull out a comically large obsidian knife behind you. Just copy paste. I don't like copy pasting. His name is Bo. It's a good name for a dog. Saul Goodman. Only do the active ones. There's a lot of active chatters. Alright, let's pull up Guess Fred's map. This is cool. Super detailed. This is like right up Aaron's alley. Aaron does a ton of fantasy maps. Look, he even put the direction of the currents, right? You can see the little arrows. Alonius, city-state. Located here on the larger world. Okay. Fort, housing, major highways, shopping, industrial. Okay, so it's an island. You've got a lake and the rivers, right? So it's an island, which means it's going to have some kind of naval presence, although it's pretty close to the mainland. You've got a big... well, it's not a lake. I guess it's a... well, this would be like an estuary. Oh, no. I guess it is a lake. Is it? No, this would be an estuary, because you're going to get some of, like, the seawater. So, yeah, I think this is an estuary. Or some kind of brackish sea, you know? The majority of active chatters are active. Surprisingly, right? Who would have guessed? Manny, how's it going? If it's freshwater, it's a lake. Yeah, no, I mean, I know that, but, this is an island, is the thing. Right? Unless this is supposed to be a lake, and this is just... well, no, because... I think these are, I think this whole thing is an estuary. I don't think it's, I don't think this is freshwater. You might have, like, freshwater runoff from, like, lakes, streams going into it. You know? But yeah. So, yeah, it's an island. You have cliffs. So all of this gray are cliffs. So this is super, super rugged terrain. So this is the only... this is the only place where you can build a port. This beach. So that makes sense. You have the highways leading to it. You have the shopping centers adjacent to it. And you have the forts, right? So, like, this is the main port. It would have to be. This is the only way in or out, because you have cliffs everywhere else. But easily navigable, right? Because you've got a choke point here, and you built the forts here, which was smart. It's exactly what any competent sort of city planner would do. Have I ever heard of Karl? He's the best Polandball history YouTuber. I have not. I'll have to check him out. Technically, the Hudson and Ohio rivers connecting to the Great Lakes make the entire eastern seaboard an island. Is that true? Well, no. So this is the thing that I can't tell here. Like, I don't know if these are rivers or if this is like... Oh, no, it says river. Okay, so these are rivers. So this is not an island. This is a peninsula. It's not an estuary. This is a freshwater lake. This is a river. So I guess it's flowing south. You have housing here, rich people housing district, housing here. Yeah, that would make sense. This is more centrally located, so the rich people would live here. Industrial, yeah, and then the waste. Cool. Not empty, just lazy. Not empty, just lazy. And let's take a look at this continent. So we're looking down here. So whenever I see a fantasy map, I'm assuming I'm looking at the entire world, right? The entire globe. So I'm assuming that this is the equator, right? And that this is the North Pole, this is the South Pole, right? And obviously, depending on the climate of the planet, whether or not you even have, you know, like a... Well, I mean, you would still have the poles, but whether or not... I'm assuming most of these are going to be relatively similar to Earth, right? Like Earth analogs of some sort. But depending on the climate of a planet, you could have deserts like far north and far south, or you could have what's it called? Arctic regions. You know, near the poles. Depends on the planet's climate, its axial tilt, everything like that, right? You made a list on how to stop Drew Journal and just general Discord to review it after this map. No, I mean, I don't want you guys to brigade at all. At a certain point, we'll just DMCA his content. That includes our stuff, you know? Eventually. But just like if you know people that watch him, tell them to come here instead. You don't need to go after him, you know? No brigading. Gay Nerd wants a dog review. Let's show Gay Nerd's dog, his dog. Don't make me get out the spray bottle. This is Gay Nerd's dog. This is Dog Nerd. This is a cute dog. I like his ears. Well, I just gave him a red pupil. Oh, you know what? Terminator. Terminator dog. Please send this back to chat. I will. Oh, I'm not doing it on the different layer. Give him Poland teeth? What are Poland teeth? Dogs when they can't eat 1 billion treats per day. True. Evil mustache? Ooh, I like the evil mustache. Yeah, let's do that. Can't spell mustache. I love dogs that have beards. Damn, that's an evil looking dog. New villain. Give him a monocle. Yeah, let's try a monocle. Let's see what it looks like if it takes away from the Terminator eyes. I like the Terminator eyes, though. A dog with a monocle. Let's do that, and then more of a glare. Duplicate it. Damn, that's a scary dog. What am I drawing? Dog nerd. I am no longer asking for treats. I'm gonna download the Terminator font. Let's see, what's the font called? Terminator? Stroke it. Dog nerd. Hold on, let me fix this real quick. There we go. Let me get Gate Nerd's colors. Chat family portrait, where we drew Gate Nerd. Dog Nerd. It's beautiful. Now he looks like an evil dog? True. Hot new meme, Dog Nerd. I am no longer asking for treats. Zoom out a bit. Let's give this a shadow. This looks like a movie poster. This will be the tagline, right? So let's do 200. He's no longer asking for treats. Make that a little bit smaller. Smaller. 165. So he's no longer asking for treats. In theaters, what? July 4th. Here you go. Here's your summer blockbuster. Copy layer style. Paste layer style. Layer style. July 4th. Yep. This is a hot new summer blockbuster. Use the comic about the planet Falconia on the Polandball animated short as tomorrow or soon if Zemonotrome is going to help. Zemonotrome. I am thinking of making that my next short. I'm working on this other one. What I was drawing earlier, this is going to be for a short that I'm going to work on off stream, and then send it or upload it hopefully tonight, and then it'll go out tomorrow. It's a sheet. What's your dog's actual name? Gay Nerd? Because it's probably not Dog Nerd, is it? It'd be pretty good. That's a good name, actually. Lele? That's a good name. Here, let's save this. Dog Nerd. Where did I save it? There we go. I'll put it in the art channel. Damn, that's a scary looking dog. Have you ever heard of Science File, the AI who's a science YouTuber from Skin? You mean these creators are good? I've not heard of that. Possibly not even Stick Poland could beat him. New meme character. Yeah. Dog nerd. Alright. It is 8:30 for me. I have to work on this short. I'm going to have to do some other stuff. So I'm going to end stream there. Thank you guys for joining. Drop a like on the stream. Go watch the podcast. Or if you don't want to watch it, just drop a like on it. We appreciate it. The liking videos is the only thing that matters. Well, it's the thing that matters most. But anyway, everybody have a great rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow, most likely. Take care.